we're live.
Good morning, good morning.
And everyone's giggling. Why are we all giggling?
I always get the giggles when I go live.
It's kind of welcome to the House of Coopers. But we have an imposter, haven't we? Because much though Lizzie's family, you're not a Cooper, are you, Lizzie, really?
I'm not a Cooper, no, I'm a
By any
Jones.
stretch.
She's a Jones, but she's one of us.
You are. Do you know what I was trying to work out the other, well, in fact, this morning I was trying to work out, you are Victoria's half-sister, right?
Yep.
So what does that make you to me? Am I your half-father? Is that even possible? Is that even
That
a
would
thing?
be weird, wouldn't it?
Are you my half-daughter?
Well, she could be.
What would you say? Like,
I don't think there is a term, is there, for it?
Well, I'm willing to step up to the plate, whatever you'd like me to be.
thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Call me anything you want, just don't call me late for dinner.
I love that. Grandma says that too.
Oh my goodness.
Call me
I feel
anything
so
you want. Oh,
old.
but she's a cool grandma. She's a cool grandma.
But this is such a crazy thing for me, though, because obviously you're both in my life, but you haven't seen each other. I mean, Liz, it could have easily been, Lizzie could have easily been, I don't know.
I was
it was
13.
4 years, so I was like 4. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's been a long ass time.
You were
For
a
sure.
tiny child. So in case anybody, in case anyone doesn't know who's watching this, you guys came from the same
Mummy.
womb, basically.
Not at the same time, although that would have been so cool.
If I can be so crude. Yeah.
But yes, that is precisely. And why we're all gathered here today is because apart from moi being the thing that you both have in common, not that I like to make it all about me, but the other thing that we have in common is technology. And that's a topic I would like to touch on today with both of you.
You want to touch it?
I want to touch the technology.
I'm touching technology right now.
Because I am just terrible with it. I mean,
technology has been great during lockdown. Thank goodness for it.
It's been a lifesaver, hasn't it? A godsend.
It really has. It really has.
Is it God sent?
Thank you, Lord. Yes, it is. Believe.
Well, hang on. If the virus is godsend, 5G must be godsend as well.
Don't get
technology's godsend.
I think we're veering off topic, which is something we were just saying we weren't going to do today.
Okay.
It's inevitable.
So, technology. What year were you born, John?
1956. So I'm 63 years old as I sit here today.
And what was the first bits of technology that you remember around the house? I mean, did you guys have televisions? I mean, I'm just asking. Did you have a television at home?
Grandma had a television.
She's 1956, not 1856.
Even Grandma had a TV, no?
But actually, well, if you want to talk about it, and some viewers might align with this as well, they might remember this, there were 2 channels when I was growing up on black and white television. There was no colour TV in the early 60s. The 2 channels were BBC and ITV.
Oh wow, they're still going today.
If you want to change between them, you had to get up and turn a big knob that went doof,
I bet you love that.
doof, from one to the other. Yeah. And wow, fast forward now, Sky Q, talking to your remote and tell it what channel you want to watch out of a choice of 630 channels. It's amazing, isn't it? And it's happened so quickly. I mean, I think that's probably one thing we should emphasize to people, the very short timescales for massive changes in the whole of society with technology.
It's just crazy. I mean, I'm 33 and I remember a time where we didn't have a computer at home.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time before a landline at home, but I do remember not having a computer. And you actually bought me the first computer that we had at home because you were the tech person. In my life, you've always been the techie one. You've always been the one into your cameras. We touched on that last time. You always had the keyboard at home, and you had the latest phones. You were.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the latest keyboard, right there.
Still going.
That's a Nord Electro 5.
Still going strong.
Mine is a
And-
6, Nord Electro 6.
And I remember when you got me the computer, that was the first, because we didn't even have one. We didn't even have one at school at the time when I had one at home.
Yeah, there was a big thing, wasn't there, well, you probably don't know, in British schools to get computers. And the BBC made these computers. They were BBC computers.
Oh,
They were
wow.
like massive things and really,
But
not really
they weren't-
computers
but
like we know.
They weren't at school when you were at school.
No, the nearest we had, check out this for a bizarre educational experience. You imagine this. We had a language lab, right, which was a room at the school with individual desks and headsets, and they had this amazing bit of technology where language courses were recorded onto some kind of massive hard drive somewhere in the headmaster's office and piped throughout the whole school to this language lab thing. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't learn any languages, so it didn't actually
Didn't
work.
work very well.
Work at all, no. Work not even
Oh
slightly.
no.
But I remember the dial-up internet was the first moment that changed my life, because it went from having to, call up your friends.
Can either of you make the noise?
Oh.
The modem.
And if someone was on your landline, it would cut off. The internet would cut off. You couldn't do
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Can
that.
you put the phone down? I want to go on the computer.
Exactly. And I remember music, streaming the first music and seeing the first YouTube video and thinking, there's other people able to watch this around the world. I remember it just being so big for me to comprehend.
Yeah, but do you also remember you couldn't actually watch any of the videos because after 1 second you'd get this little thing on the screen going.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to wait like 10 minutes for the next 5 seconds of video.
But then Messenger came along.
Yeah.
Then Messenger came along. And
Messenger was the best.
Friends.
Yeah. MSN Messenger it was, wasn't it?
Oh.
And that was the coolest thing. Those were the first emojis too that came along.
Lizzie, why did it go sideways on then? You're the same shape and size as us then.
Better?
Oh.
We're talking about tech. I'm not very techy when it
Hang on a
comes
minute.
to.
That's it. That's the one. That's
Hello?
the big screen. That's the widescreen version. Yeah.
How can I get you both on the screen at the same time on my phone?
I don't know what the app's like. We're doing this on Zoom, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Sorry if we're boring you with some
I'll edit
details.
all
There's a view thing. You can go for speaker view or you can go for gallery view. If you go for gallery view, we should all be there.
I'll have a look.
I think. It's actually recording on gallery view, you'd be pleased to hear.
I'll edit all this palaver out anyway.
Yeah. One of the most striking things, talking about the speed of technology, is to think back before Facebook. Do you know what? We were not that much younger at that point, were we? This was like 2005, wasn't it?
You were on Facebook before I was. You were on Facebook.
2009, I was on it, I think.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was before that. It was before 2009 you were on it, because I have photos with you of 2008, I think.
Okay.
I'm sure it was a bit soon. I remember being in a pub.
It was a long time ago, anyway.
Was I before both of you then?
You must have been.
Yeah. I think I was a year before you guys.
I was.
Pretend I was 16.
And I remember being on the phone with Dad and him going, you have to join this thing called Facebook. And I was like, and here in Spain we had 20, which was...
you had these bizarre Spanish alternatives, that's right. Yeah.
And Bebo.
Yeah, but those have become kind of obsolete now,
Did either of you use MySpace? Did either of you use that?
I didn't make it on, no. Didn't make it on.
No.
Because that apparently was a thing for like, building a celebrity brand, if you like,
I think that was more in the States though, right? It was bigger in America than in Europe, I think, MySpace.
Yeah.
But Facebook was and still is just life-changing, isn't it? It's putting us in contact with people that...
Well, for my business, it's the great blue gift from heaven, I call it, because it's free and all the clients I could ever want are all there. And all I've had to do in the last 2 or 3 years is just corral them all together in one place, give them this community where they can join. And they just join like like crazy every single day, and it's
Amazing.
only my ideal clients that's in view. Then there's nobody else to muddy the water. It's amazing.
And isn't that crazy? I mean, that's why I thought it'd be great to bring you two together, because you both live, you know, your work is based off social media in you know, some instances. So you've got the Facebook as your main platform for keeping in touch.
Did you just call it the Facebook then?
No, I said you have Facebook, and Lizzie has the Instagram.
The Instagram.
The
That's
Instagram. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to do it for the gram.
I'm
you know.
interested in the tick. What's it called?
TikTok. TikTok's
Yeah.
the best.
I'm interested in that
Get
because
on
I want
it.
to get
Get
down
on
with
it.
I want to get down with the kids again, but
Well, Lizzie is the person to speak to.
I ain't
about
got a clue how to monetize it. It doesn't make any
Oh, it's
sense
so
to me.
good.
Are you making
gotta
money
build
from TikTok?
I've done one paid video with TikTok at the moment, but I'm still new to it, so I need to build up my audience, and then.
But one of your videos has almost 1 million views already.
It does.
What?
Tidying up after George, yeah, that one seems to be really.
Tidying up
big
after George.
Mm.
Who's
Check it
George?
So many. My boyfriend.
All right.
George. Yeah, so many girls can relate. So.
We both had Georges in our lives, haven't we, Victoria? In fact, all three of us have had Georges in our lives.
Granddad.
I was married to a female who was called George Ina.
Really?
Lizzie and I had a granddad called George.
Yeah.
God rest his.
I had
mine.
a father-in-law called George.
Really? Oh yeah.
Really?
My granddad.
Come on. Stay with the program, Lizzie. Jesus.
I'm here.
It's me you're talking to here. You're half dad.
I thought maybe it was Georgina's dad. I don't know.
You've had so many father-in-laws.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, my father-in-laws, respectively, are called
George.
You know what? I've no idea what my current father-in-law's called. I never met him.
You can't put this online. You can't say that.
I'll edit this out. I was
going to say.
Yep.
I was going to say.
So Facebook has been life-changing for your business, Dad.
Yes.
In an incredible way that I don't think anyone could have comprehended the impact of it 30 years ago. So if you had ventured out on the same career path as you have the past few years, just imagine how different it would have been.
Well, bear in mind, I did. I mean, I was a accidental business coach since 2003 when we sold the big firm.
Right.
People just asking me to help them. And it was only, in the late noughties that I was getting involved with social media management from my clients. Before that, it was traditional forms of marketing,
and having to physically go to the person.
Yeah.
Physically go to
sitting in people's offices. And
with a whiteboard, and you're maybe, scribbling along on the whiteboard. And now, there's nothing.
The most tech we had, I guess, from 2003 to about 2010, I suppose, was emails. Email campaigns, getting into mass marketing emails, subject headers that made people open the emails. All that's good grounding because the principles behind that apply to social media as well.
Of course.
Very important.
Lizzie, because you're younger than us both. You were born in 1992, so you don't really remember a time before even having being without a mobile. I just about remember the pre-mobile and the first mobiles that we had at home. But
the Nokia.
Yeah, but you don't even remember that, right?
I was 9. I was 9 when I got my first Nokia. I don't know what was before
Let me just
that.
dive in with the first mobile story. So my first mobile was the first mobile. It was a Motorola. It was like this tall. I'm doing like 60 centimeters here, by the way.
Didn't it have like a battery case?
A massive aerial on top.
It.
And you can actually carry around an extended battery case, which was a huge box as big as a handbag, right? With a massive heavy battery. And there was a coily cable from it that you could plug in the bottom of the phone. Because otherwise the phone would last like 20 minutes, a phone battery.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like the iPhone then. No?
Yeah, just like
today's just like the iPhone. Nothing's changed.
Thanks, Apple.
But that was a bizarre era because if you were really wanted to be, cool and connected to your business. You had to carry around a battery pack in one hand and the phone in the other. Can you imagine?
And what about phones in cars? Remember those? And the
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you had one of those.
Well, do you know what? That was a different technology. I mean, without getting too far down the rabbit hole, in the 60s, all the high flyers would have a phone in their car with a dial on it, to dial the numbers. But that would actually connect by, I think, shortwave radio was a whole different thing. I know cells and mass and things. Yeah, that's bizarre. There was a car for sale. I saw a Jensen Interceptor. Remember those, Victoria?
Just about.
For sale, with an old original car phone. It must be bizarre. I don't even know if it still connects to anything. But
I doubt
Lovely.
I doubt it nowadays. But yeah. So Lizzie remembers, things that for us were revolutionary, but she just took it
Normal.
for granted, I guess, because it was the norm,
Mm.
So Lizzie started out as a model. Magazines, was that really what you were doing?
Magazines, runway, e-com.
And then Instagram appeared, and people started to make a living off Instagram without having to physically go to photo shoots and having to, do runways and whatnot. We started to get things in the post that you could just take a picture of and mention them, and then you got that for free, and then you got actually paid per post. How has all that changed? How has your life changed thanks to technology in comparison to our grandma, for example, who was a model before there was any technology?
Oh my gosh, I mean, changed a lot. I didn't get onto the Instagram game for a couple of years. What did it come out in 2010? I think I got on it in 2012 when I started seeing the first bloggers and getting all the likes and all these nice things. I thought, I want to try that. But my Instagram wasn't good for a good couple of years after that. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it until I was in the circle, people that knew what they were doing and going to events and stuff. I think I'd say it started picking up in London when I started getting apps that, models could go on to go to nice places and exchange for posts or stories or things like that. And that's when I really started caring about it.
You're on a couple of apps, aren't you, that you get notifications of, like, you can go to this restaurant, and if you take a picture, upload it and mention us, you get your food for free or drink for free, or God, this is mind-boggling.
Living in London was so expensive to go out anywhere. So when you're starting off in a new country after coming from China, you're like, trying to save up. Then you've got this app and you say, okay, I can go out, I can get the content, and I don't have to spend much money, but I can, get the photos I need to and be creative with it.
So where are you now in the world, Lizzie? I've missed this. Where are you?
I'm in London.
Are you in London now, in a park?
I am. Yeah, I am in the park in London. It's a beautiful day.
Which park?
Wandsworth Park.
Oh, nice.
In the corner of the park, because the wind is quite windy.
Is that by the public toilets, which are closed?
Yep, I think so. Yeah, they have been closed all lockdown, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've cleaned them. Yes, very
Who knows?
All the glam, all the glam.
Yeah.
See, I'm just bringing you glam everywhere I go.
Well, to be fair, you're no nearer to a toilet than Victoria or I. We have toilets here.
But at least you know what you do in yours.
Oh, I do.
I'm buying mini golf as well. Look at that. How cute is that? Little mini golf park.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
But yeah, when I was in China, I had no idea what to do on Instagram. It was just full of silly photos, modeling work. I put a lot of modeling work on there because it went from being able to go to your agency and them getting you work to doing it on your own, getting your own clients through that way. And that's why I started on Instagram.
So an
online portfolio.
Don't they block a bunch of social media in China though? You can't get on everything.
That's it. Well, yeah, a couple of years after they started with blocking Facebook. I had to use VPN for Facebook, and then they blocked Google, and then they blocked Instagram.
Yeah.
I could still get on there, but yeah, they didn't want anyone finding out what was going on in China.
Whoa. I bet you've got some stories to tell, huh?
That's the thing. I feel like we have so much freedom with internet, and we feel like we can say whatever we want to and get our message out, but can we? To what point is there total freedom of speech? Because a lot of people are getting blocked off Twitter, for example. I mean, I know
Really?
Trump's getting his knickers in a twist because he posted some palaver the other day, and Twitter, thumbs up to them, actually stepped out and said, hold on, not quite sure what you're saying is true. And then they left a link to some articles that were saying something completely different, with actual evidence.
Well, you know what? I actually think that's a good thing, right? I'm all for freedom, but with great freedom comes great responsibility. And whereas before, if you were a lunatic and you came up with something bizarre, a theory or something, your only platform was to stand on Hyde Park Corner, Speaker's Corner or whatever, with a placard and some leaflets, selling pencils from a cup. And shouting at the people who were going past. Now that person can get on Facebook and spread the same nonsense and influence half the world, So I do think it's important to have some kind of, control, some kind of oversight as to what people are actually saying, because it can genuinely cause harm if people believe it.
Well, we've seen it. We've been able to witness it the past few months more than ever before, because there's always, been pandemics and things that we're all scared of, but it's never been to the point where the whole world has been shut down, in lockdown, stay at home, your businesses are shut. And we were all on our phones. I remember the first week, I was like, this isn't really happening. Like, Spain is the most country in the world. We're 20 years behind everyone else still. How is it possible that we're being affected at the same scale that America, for example, or, places that we see as more civilized, like Germany, or, how is this possible? And I was on my phone, all I was seeing, I kept getting bombarded with all of these links and stuff from all these different people about 5G. Lizzie and I would talk about it every day. Every day there was a new theory about 5G, and then it was a bat, and then it wasn't a bat, and then it was a guy who sold the bat.
Then it was Bill Gates,
and then it was Bill Gates trying to kill us all. And I've got Lizzie going, don't get the vaccine. And it's like, hold on, people, hold on.
Yeah, they're going to track you to your toilet.
That's it.
Information does. And we just need to be, I think we need to be very choosy, very picky and very choosy about what we let in, because we just need to, for me, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be covering my cam on my laptop like a lot of people do. Paranoid that even though the green light's not on, someone's still looking at you. I'm not going to be not talking around my phone. I know I don't believe in conspiracy theories and all this rubbish, but I've witnessed that I have had my phone there. I've spoken with someone in the same room about the most random article that it wouldn't even cross anyone's mind to write an article about the shit that we're talking about. I go on my phone 20 minutes later and it's on there. Or there's an advert to it, or there's a link to a website to buy something stupid that we were talking about. And
I don't find that particularly sinister, though, because you know what? If you believe that government is listening to you and using your conversations or in your data, for some purpose against you, then I think you're a massive egotist, right? Why are you so important
that's what I keep
that
saying.
anybody would care what it is you say and do? Apart from commercial enterprises who are trying to sell you things. It's kind of okay, isn't it? I'd rather see adverts that I'm interested in than adverts that I'm not.
I was speaking to a girlfriend on voice message on WhatsApp, voice message. She was saying, babe, you've got to try this shampoo. It's amazing. Yeah?
Yeah.
I kid you not. That same day, I'd never seen the shampoo before, went onto Instagram and there was an Instagram advert.
That's all right, isn't it? I actually mind that. I don't mind that.
That's the thing, I don't mind. There's a lot of people that are like, you need to be careful, with what you do or what I'm little old me. I'm one little person who doesn't know.
You're a very special person.
And special to some people.
She is.
How
But,
special.
but like you just said, what, who am I to think that the government or anyone policing anything is going to be interested in
Might be
what?
sniffing around, and yet, isn't it useful? Isn't it? Isn't it calming and reassuring? That's the word I was looking for. To know that if there's a bunch of guys in a room talking about blowing up the Houses of Parliament, they're going to get caught. They're going to get listened to and caught. I quite like that idea. That makes me feel safe.
And what you're saying, I can, it reminds me of when I moved to London. And on every corner in London, especially around Mayfair area, there's cameras. And I figured out after about a month that my walk to work, I could be monitored my whole walk to work. And I've never felt safer.
Exactly.
And I'm coming from a place in Malaga where nothing really happens. There's some shootings sometimes, but they're just amongst the mafia, the English mafia that live down here. They're not going to be coming after moi.
Yeah.
But I've never felt safer.
Yeah.
I could walk to and
Exactly.
from work, morning, evening, 12 o'clock at night. Sometimes when we had some dues after work or whatever, I didn't think twice about getting mugged. Because I was monitored every single day. There wasn't a street that I went down that there wasn't a camera.
Are you going to download the Track and Trace app, Lizzie, or have you already?
What's that?
This coronavirus Track and Trace app that they're rolling out in the next few days.
I haven't heard of it yet.
You heard about it?
I'll probably download it.
Well, yeah. Well, but basically, it's not anonymized data, so it's not for your name, but your Apple phone or your Android phone, that long 20-digit code ID relays data to a central point, and it records the fact that that particular phone has been near to another phone that belongs to somebody who might be infected.
Oh.
And then it alerts you, and the idea is that you're then able to go home and self-quarantine for a bit, or get tested or something like that.
Right.
Completely anonymized, but then people have got their knickers in a twist this week and said, no way, I'm not having the government knowing that I'm in Aldi, buying something. And
if they want to know, they'll know where you are. They'll always know where you are if they want to.
I've given up getting into conversations with those kind of people because there's so much wrong with that way of thinking. It's kind of impossible to persuade.
You'll never change their minds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no point.
Well, the thing is, you just have to think about where the compromise is. So you can say, I do not want to be tracked or monitored or anything.
Oh, you can turn it off.
If you don't have a phone, if you don't use the internet, and if you live in a log cabin on top of a mountain. I love the fact that I have a phone. I know nothing about technology. I'm really crap with it. I can just about turn it on. But I can see what the weather's like right now in Cape Town if I wanted to. I can Google, images of Machu Picchu and stay for an hour looking through the ridiculous pictures on my phone. I can travel the world. I can go onto Google Earth and I can zoom into Dad's house right now. And if the fact that I have all of that in my hand means that I'm going to be tracked and they can see where I am at all moments, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a trade-off, isn't it?
As long as you're not doing anything naughty.
Listen, if they want to know what I'm Googling and then I get adverts on it, it's in my benefit. As long as they don't track my porn records.
Oh, they do.
They know this.
You know they do.
That's when I kind of maybe think, oh God, I wish they wouldn't. Apart from that, it is what it is. I think we just need to get with times. You can't
stop being so sensitive. People need to stop being really sensitive.
Yeah, worry about the important things, the big things. So Lizzie, I wanted to ask you actually, because you kind of very quickly mentioned that you'd had like 1 million views, was it, on a video or
nearly?
Yeah,
nearly 1 million.
So that's getting up towards viral. I was going to ask you to just talk a bit about how you achieved that, but you know what? The other thing that just came to mind, Oscar loves his YouTube, and he watches
Does he?
this CKN Toys channel. Have you seen that?
I can't say I have, no.
I think it's this kid called Ryan. He's kind of Asian American kid, and he's got a channel where he opens toys, basically on toy
Oh,
unboxing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
you can do that on TikTok as well.
one of his videos had 330 million views.
Can you imagine that
Right?
being a
And
thing?
he's like opening some Lego, getting out, going yay, and then like time delay thing where he builds the Lego. 330 million views. That's the whole population of America. I mean, that's just insane.
Right.
So you've got a way to go there with your 1 million lady, but
I know. People help me.
maybe you should unbox something.
Maybe I should. Well, I was gonna. It's really good for Amazon things now on there.
Yeah.
People are unboxing what they're buying on there, and they're getting loads of views and the likes. It's about the likes as well. But I think it's luck when it's the time of day you put your video up, what hashtags you use. Like, you've got to know a lot. Do your research before you put it on, and what's trending.
So do you have somebody managing yours, or do you do it all yourself?
No, I do it all myself.
She's all self-managed, this girl.
I do it all myself.
Impressive.
I take my own photos, get my own content, do my own styling. Like Victoria, you do it all yourself too. And that's great because we have the freedom and the ability to be able to do this without having to spend so much money on publishing and marketing and everything. Because back in the day you had to, didn't you?
Yeah. You'd have an agency, wouldn't you? Ad agency. And
Yeah.
PR person. Yeah. So do you think? You said it was a bit of luck. That I've noticed that too. I mean, I've had one post that went a bit bonkers. I think 10,000 likes or something.
Amazing.
And then the most is like 2, 3, 400. That's kind of the average. And you do look at it, don't you? You think, well, I can't really explain that. I can't duplicate it. If only I could clone it, and do everyone exactly like that. So
yeah.
Have you got any magic sauce? Any ideas for
just keep up with the trends, just like they're saying that use the same kind of sounds. If you keep hearing the same sounds on so this is TikTok, then use that because everyone's on that trend, the hashtags now and everything, so try and get on that boat. But you also
use
want
other
to be
people's
creative.
sounds, can't you, on your videos?
Yeah, you can. It's you need to get on TikTok, especially if Oscar likes watching unboxing things. You can do his own on there, and you can get creative with it. Because you don't have to just record one thing. On the app you can cut, record, and edit from there.
No, I do have a TikTok account. I mean, one of the things. Yeah, I've had it for a couple of weeks. One of the things with social media, look, is if you use it for business, you have to hang out where your clients hang out. You have to hang out where your tribe is. And my ideal clients are coaches and therapists, most of them kind of middle-aged. They don't hang out on TikTok. So it wouldn't really serve me as a business tool, I don't think. And unless you can tell me otherwise, unless you can find some way to use it anyway.
A different kind of audience. That's the thing. On all these different platforms, you can find different audience that you probably wouldn't have found on Facebook. Sure. But they like your content, so they follow you, and then that's another branch you can go down.
So I could create a different product range. I mean, at the moment, I help coaches and therapists to find more of their clients, organically. Yeah. So I use my Facebook game to demonstrate how they can use Facebook as well, you see.
Yeah.
So
you could do that on TikTok. Everyone, information is great on there. If you can give information and help, as well as doing funny videos, people love that. I see a lot of people on there, even if it's a 15-second clip, as long as you get their attention, then you've got them.
Mate, the audience. Bait, isn't it? It's just getting the bait in.
It's because I've got some videos like that one did so well, and then I've got another one that's also doing well. But then I've got ones that've got 800 views, and it's kind of the same, but it's not. So I think it is all luck and just being consistent with it.
Consistency, the C word, exactly.
Yeah, my top viewed video has 365,000 views, right, on YouTube.
It's amazing, isn't it?
amazing. That was 200 when we spoke.
Yeah,
Wow.
365 this morning.
Amazing.
That's the Chinese electric car thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, let me go into that a bit, because my next top viewed video after that is like 8,000. There's no
Yes.
correlation between one and
Yeah.
the other, you know. But it's a Chinese electric vehicle. And I uploaded it, didn't think anything of it, and kept seeing like, got comments, weeks later, months later, comments, what's going on? Turns out that it was trending because electric vehicles are trending, and China is, you know, trying to get its foot in the door before anyone else does. And
Well, maybe Chinese is trending because people are searching for Chinese virus or Chinese mark,
well,
Chinese bats or something.
I reached like 300,000 before Corona.
Okay.
So it's not like a recent thing. It's something that's been going on gradually, right, ever since I posted it. So I thought, perfect, people like this. It's an electric vehicle. I'm dressed up as an idiot in this Japanese outfit. And I thought, right, at Christmas, we'll drive a Chinese electric van. You know, electric car, electric van, dressed up as Santa Claus. It's got like, I don't know.
I loved that one.
500 views or something.
Yeah.
Like my idea. So even when you think you have the key to the reason of a video being successful, you can try and replicate that. You know, you could do another video today, Lizzie, like the one that's, you know, your most viewed one, where you're having a go at your boyfriend for leaving all the drawers open, and you can have 1,000 views on it. It's not only the title, it's not only the content, it's the moment and what's trending at that very particular moment. And it's like a wave. I see it as a wave. You know, I must have got the video out there this just the right time where a bigger channel posted something, and then because mine was similar, YouTube recommended it on their next video, and that's all it took. I don't know to what extent is it in our control to make a video go viral, you know? It's difficult. I'm still trying to replicate it. I'm chasing
I think we always got to have to try and up our game, you know, look for different ways. That's why insights are always good to have. Like, you've got your YouTube ones, haven't you, where you can see the time of day, your audience, what your audience likes to see. On TikTok, it shows you what your audience, what they've liked as well. So if they like a lot of comedy, then you think, okay, I'll do a Friends one. Or if they like dances, then you can do the dance ones. But I would push your TikTok because it's a new, although it's been around for a couple of years now, it's started to boom this year for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to be on it. George's brother and his girlfriend recommended I get on it at Christmas time, and I've had so much fun doing it. I love it.
And does it work the same, TikTok, as Instagram and whatnot? Like, can you monetize off it? Or
yeah, you can.
So you can actually make money off the views.
Well, there's one girl, well, there's a couple of ones that have got maybe 40 million. They're 16, 17, and they're making money.
Really?
Each like a 15-second video just showing a bottle and doing a little, you know, whatever it is, twerking or dancing, and they're earning a couple of $1,000, like a couple of $100. It's crazy.
Try explaining that to your grandparents, you know.
Well,
That's it.
I guess this is why I'm at a bit of a loss with a platform like that, you see, because I don't know how I could be hip in that way, you know, and for people to look at it and go, wow, you know, he's so cool. Because I'm not 16 or 17 and I don't twerk, you know.
But that does it. But that's it. Like, now that's happened, all the twerking, all that's done. Like, now it's people getting creative on it. People want to see different things. They don't just want to see you doing all the dance moves. They want information. They want ways
I could do that.
It could be
absolutely give it a go.
As do you remember when you used to walk around the house in your racing suit with your helmet on and the, what do you call them, the flippers, the paddling flippers?
Oh, I love it.
Did I do that?
And the snort, I've got a picture of you and you've got a snorkel coming out your mouth out of a helmet. You know, we were the pioneers, really, of...
Yeah.
The trouble was, it was just, we just took a picture of it then for each other, didn't we? We didn't share it with anybody else.
Exactly. So maybe if you did something like that, something completely ridiculous.
Please do that. I must see that. I must witness this.
All right. So if I do that, I'd find a reason for it and do do a video. It's 15 or 60 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right. Yeah,
So I can maybe do a minute. Will you grab onto it and share it and put it through your channel as well then?
absolutely. Yeah,
All right then.
that's it. When you've got, go on.
No,
Yeah.
you could do something like, if you could get a race car near you, but it was raining, you could go down in your race suit, but you know, ready to get rained on, so you could have like.
Well, a week tomorrow, I'm doing a track day at Donington Park in a Caterham, so I will have my gear on.
Well,
That would be cool. Just go into a shop with all your gear on, or you know, just like it's something so small, but
Well, it probably
don't
works as well as a
hopefully
mask because you have a balaclava underneath the helmet, and you put the helmet on.
true.
So
people would
this
get
is my way to socially isolate, isn't it?
yeah, that's it. Protect yourself and others. Guys, I've got
Okay,
5.
you're on.
Actually,
Let's work something out. Maybe next time we show up on YouTube, we'll have some evidence of this. Maybe show some
yeah,
clips.
do it.
It's exciting. I mean, like
Right.
Lizzie said, even if you're there and you're not promoting your product, I think the fact of being present on various different platforms is people getting to know you. Because one thing that all three of us have in common, apart from loving me, is the fact that we are not representing anyone apart from ourselves. So we're not working for a company. It's not Johnny Cooper representation of whatever limited. You know, you're Johnny, and you know Johnny Hates Marketing, and I'm Victoria Cooper and Elizabeth Jones, and we're representing ourselves. So wherever we go, whatever platform we're on, we can always divert people back to, you know, I'm on Instagram with Victoria Cooper YouTube, but I'm diverting people back to YouTube, which is my main goal, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just getting the seed in there, letting people
It's
know.
like networking, isn't it? When you go to events, you network to wider, like get a wider audience, just like that. But
So quick fire round then, just before we go. Think of some questions. I've just thought of one. What's your favourite piece of tech you've ever bought under $100 or pounds?
Casio calculator back in the day, probably.
oh my god,
What's your favourite piece of tech under 100?
My first pair of wireless headphones.
oh
Okay.
yeah.
That was a game changer for me because the wire used to just kill my life.
Yeah.
What about, can it be the lights that I found on Instagram that make my room look?
Yeah.
Did you say no? Yeah.
I have LED lights with different colours too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like you've got the universe in your. That's the best thing I've ever bought, I think. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. This is my favourite right now. My Blue Yeti mic.
Oh, your mic. I'd
This-
like to get a mic actually.
This was just under 100, like 90 or something, and the audio quality is just so much better than trying to faff around with AirPods, for example.
AirPods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's
You're
my
right,
question.
sometimes.
If you could bring back
Yeah.
any bit of technology that's become obsolete today,
Ooh.
That's a good
what
one.
would it be? It could be anything, music-wise, technology, anything. What would it be? Because I have amazing memories from my Discman years.
I was
Like,
gonna say I saw a post
Yeah.
on that.
It's all on the phone nowadays. I know it's a lot easier, but
Yeah.
man, did I feel special.
And you
God.
bought an album and
Oh. And you open the CD, and then you had like that. It would come with a
poster.
that you could open up.
I miss that too.
Yeah, I was going to say the owning of physical musical assets, definitely. And it kind of sounded better as well. I actually think you get a better
Yeah.
sound from a physical disc spinning than you do just streaming most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it
That's a
is
good one.
getting better and better. But for me, I think the Discman just, I felt how it made me feel, you know, at that moment in time, for sure.
I'd like to get a Polaroid camera.
Oh God, yeah.
They're coming back in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, okay. As soon as I can't think of anything else original, I'll say 35mm film cameras then.
Film cameras.
Because you'd go on holiday knowing you could take like 24 pictures. So you were actually a lot more careful about what pictures you took. You'd frame them better. You spend more time on them.
There were no food photos.
Yeah, why would you waste money
Yeah,
taking a
exactly. I
picture
would
of you?
waste them all. I think George
Yeah.
can't just take one of me. He tries to take one of me. I'm like, Lord, you got to get 100 photos, and you'll find at least one good one.
Yeah.
That's how we work
It's
here.
bizarre. And then there was this crossover hybrid period where you could take your film to be developed and they would give you them on a CD as well as give you the prints. So you had
That's
like both
cool.
technologies from the same thing.
And you used to print a lot more, I think, when you had those. You know, we don't print
I'm
them
like,
anymore.
oh, check me out.
This is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pictures,
it's all on your phone.
I know.
Yeah, it's a shame. Shall we decide to do that? Shall we take a resolution to actually print some of our pictures out and stick them up
Well,
on
I
our
do.
walls?
I've got a bunch of them.
Have you?
And there's photo frames around my house that I change probably every 6 months. I like to swap
I need to be more like that. Like keep changing them round so you use them. Yeah,
because we get.
that's a good idea.
I haven't printed a picture for 5 years now, I should think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I make sure
Do it.
in my kitchen I've got a display, a little cluttered area in my kitchen. That's where all my photos are, and it's just above my breakfast bar. I go have breakfast in the morning, and I've got my whiteboard there too, where I write down all my ideas for the YouTube videos. And it's just my little zone, you know, with all my pictures of my people, my friends, and oh, I love all of that.
Yeah, that is cool. Shall I give you a flavour from my TikTok game then? This is what it's going to be. Right.
We've lost Lizzie.
This is what it's going to be. So it's going to be me kind of like this. But what am I going to do? What am I going to say?
I don't know.
So
Maybe we can ask people for ideas.
Can you even hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, yeah.
Fantastic. So I could be saying, look, I'm really concerned about the virus, so I'm going to make sure that I'm not in reach of anybody sneezing or coughing in my face or anything.
Exactly. Or you could pretend that you're promoting that. You know, as if you're selling them.
Yeah.
You'd have to wear your balaclava though, because the virus could get through your nose.
Yeah. That is true, isn't it? I'd have messed my hair up now.
Oh god damn. At least your wings still intact.
Lizzie was so impressed by that she's disappeared completely.
So I think we should wrap it up. She's probably run out of battery. So I think we should wrap it up. But I just want to finish on a note where I say that technology is amazing. We wouldn't have been able to achieve what we have as human race to date had it not been for the evolution of technology. But at the same time, I feel like my generation of the 80s, we're the last generation that will remember life before technology. And I'm very, very glad that I was born when I was. And I wish I had more photos, which kids nowadays do. I wish I had more memories, especially with Sophie, you know, people who have been in my life for many, many years. But at the same time, I wish that my godsons, that my little brother, that Lizzie's kids, when they come along, I wish that they could have just that little bit of innocence that we still had.
A little bit of analog life, in other words.
Of being excited. Like, I want to travel to Maldives. I really do. Just chill out. But I've seen it. So I feel like when I step off the plane and see it for the first time, it's not the first time I'm seeing it. It's the first time I'm experiencing it, but not the first time I'm seeing it.
Well, you could immerse yourself in it in AI now, couldn't you?
Exactly. Well, I just feel like we're just, especially as the generations, you know, continue, I feel like we're going to become desensitized to how I felt growing up.
The thrill of new things.
Yeah, and being outside and experiencing things
so.
for the first time. So if I could get anything from the past and just give that to the current generations and future ones to come, it would be that, the being able to experience something for the first time. Yeah. Which I think we're losing. But hey.
Wonderful. Well, I tell you what, it was lovely to meet Lizzie. Just say again for anybody who's skipped to this bit, Lizzie's my half daughter. Officially decided. Well, she's your half sister and you're my daughter. She must be my half daughter.
I love the sound of it.
There's no other logical description for it, is there?
There isn't. I love it.
And I've kind of feel like I met her for the first time. I've talked two or more than I've ever talked to before, so that was
He's a
cool.
cool kid.
The House of Coopers.
Yeah. House of Coopers. So let's get our thinking caps on, come up with a cool TikTok for you, and put together the plan for the next video. I already have an idea for the next podcast, which is
Can't wait.
right, guys. So join me next week for another YouTube car special, and Dad will be joining us in another few weeks for a special. And I think we may actually have another Cooper on then.
Ooh, how exciting.
Well, let's see. All right, guys.
See you all soon.
Nice to see you, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.